Today I broke out the Instant Pot, and we're gonna make a super quick and easy chicken and rice dish that can be on the table in less than 30 minutes. Okay, I love my Instant Pot, and one of my favorite things to make in the Instant Pot is chicken and rice. And today we're gonna make a rice pilaf and a chicken breast, and we're gonna take it in a Greek direction flavor-wise, but this is a totally adaptable recipe. You could change up the different spices and flavors in this and have dozens of different versions of this recipe ready to go on any weeknight, depending upon what you have in the fridge and what's in your spice cabinet. The first thing we need to do is get our chicken breast seasoned. Now, if you can remember and you have a little time before you're getting ready to cook, if you can season your chicken breast a couple of hours before you're gonna cook it, then that would help sort of intensify the flavors. But since we're going for a super quick and easy meal, we're just going to season this now, and then while we do all of the other prep work, this will sit in the fridge and it will marinate as long as we have. So the first thing I want to do is zest a lemon. And we're just going to use our microplane grater to zest the whole lemon. And we want to just be careful just to use the outer bit of the lemon and not that white pith, which can get bitter. All right, that's pretty well zested. And now we're going to take a tablespoon of kosher salt. And that seems like a lot, but we want to get a lot of flavor into our chicken. We're going to rub it all over, so it is going to be perfectly fine. And we are going to basically rub the salt into the lemon. And what this does is the salt, this is kosher salt, so it has a lot of sharp edges to it. And it is going to sort of puncture the lemon zest, the cells of the lemon zest. It's going to bring out more of those oils and even make this more flavorful than if we didn't do this. And this is going to start to get a little bit wet feeling. You'll see it starts to look a little bit like wet sand. It's really fragrant. You can smell all of that lemon zest. The next thing we're going to do is add some oregano. We're going to add a teaspoon of oregano. And we're going to add a teaspoon of black pepper. And a half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, which I love granulated garlic. It tastes a bit different than fresh garlic, so it just brings a different kind of garlic note to the table. And then we're just gonna rub this together, combine it pretty well. And now we're just going to coat our chicken really well in all of this. And I just like to use this plastic cutting board and just kind of make sure all of our chicken is coated in this spice rub. Pretty easy. All right, so we're going to put this in the fridge, and then we are going to get to the next step of this, which is getting our rice pilaf going. Okay, let's get our rice going. I love making a rice pilaf in the Instant Pot. I think it does a really good job. I love that you can use the saute functionality to saute some flavorings to coat your rice in, and then you can use the pressure cook to cook the rice really quickly, and it always comes out so perfectly. And I use this method quite a lot. In fact, I have a recipe on my blog for an orange and almond rice pilaf, which I will link below. But today, again, we're going to use a lot of those same flavors we use in the chicken in our rice pilaf. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is zest another lemon. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that we did when we zested the lemon for the chicken. All right, that's pretty good. And so now we are going to get the Instant Pot. I love the little jingle, the Instant Pot jingle. We're going to turn our Instant Pot on saute. We're just going to let it go 30 minutes. We're not going to use 30 minutes, but I don't adjust the time at all. We're going to take about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, so we got about a tablespoon of olive oil in the pot, and that's heating up. We also have about a half of a large shallot. This is about a quarter of a cup of shallot. So we're going to put that in. and let that start sweating down. I'm also going to do about a half a teaspoon of salt, which will season our rice and also help some of the juices come out of our shallot. And give that a little stir. And we're just going to let that start cooking and start softening just a little bit. Okay, this is starting to sizzle. It doesn't take very much time at all, maybe 30 seconds. And then we're going to add our lemon zest. Oh, that smells so good, the lemon when that hit the oil. And then we're going to use a tablespoon or teaspoon of oregano. And a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Like I said, it's very similar than the flavor profile we have going on in that chicken. And then give that a stir. Let that heat sort of awaken that oregano and that garlic powder. Now the thing with pilaf is that you're seasoning your rice granules before they cook. So the next thing we're going to do is pour in 2 cups of rice. And we're going to give this a stir and let that toast in this seasoned oil for, I don't know, about 30 seconds or so. You're just going to want to make sure all of the grains are coated with oil and that seasoning, and just toast it up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn off the saute function. I'm going to go grab my chicken, and then we're going to put this together and get it cooking. We got our chicken. So I'm using a long grain jasmine rice. That's just the rice I always like to keep on hand. And in the Instant Pot, you use a 1-to-1 ratio in volume to rice to water. You could probably use chicken broth too, but there's so much flavor in this, and there'll be some flavor from the chicken that you don't really need it. Water is fine in this recipe. All right, and now we just want to make sure that the rice grains on the side of the pot are just pushed down back into the water so that all of the rice gets cooked. We don't want any little hard, crunchy bits when we go to eat our chicken and rice bowls. All right. Now we're just going to lay our chicken breasts on top, and we're going to set our Instant Pot to high pressure cook. I have a really old Instant Pot pressure cooker, so mine's just manual and that's high pressure. But we're going to go ahead and cook this for 6 minutes. We're going to make sure that our vent is on sealing or pressure cook. And we're going to set this for 6 minutes. And then what's going to happen is we're going to let it cool down for 10 minutes. That's the trick with rice, is that I like to cook it for 6 minutes. And then that 10 minutes sort of helps finish it off and steam it thoroughly. Get it nice and fluffy. Once I set this for 6 minutes, I'm going to come back and we're going to pull together a few other things for this dish that is easy to do while your Instant Pot's going. Okay, so our next step is our sauce. We're going to make a lemony yogurt sauce, and we're going to start with some Greek yogurt. I have about a half a cup of Greek yogurt here. And to that, we're just going to grate a couple of cloves of garlic. I love this microplane grater for mincing garlic. It makes it so easy to do this. It's one of my favorite kitchen tools. Okay. We are going to use the juice of half of a lemon. We're going to use about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Like I said, garlic powder and fresh garlic, have a little bit of a different flavor note, so I like them both in this. We're going to do a little pinch of salt. We'll taste at the end to see if we need more. And a little bit of honey, like a teaspoon at max. We're not really trying to make this sweet. I'm probably going to start with about a half a teaspoon. We just want to balance out these tangy flavors. So you're not going to notice it's sweet, but you would notice if you didn't have the honey in here, because it would come off as very, very tart. And then finally, we're going to add about a tablespoon of parsley, fresh parsley that I chopped up. And give this a little stir. I have this little tiny baby whisk that I love for making little sauces like this. Now at this point, you can decide whether your sauce is too thick. And you can thin it out with a little milk or buttermilk. But actually, this is looking really good to me, so I'm not going to add any extra. All right. So we got our sauce. I'm going to give it a little taste. That's perfect for me. So I'm going to set that aside. Now, we also have to contemplate some garnishes. So I'm going to go get those and talk about them. And our Instant Pot is just coming up to pressure. So we have about 18 minutes left until our bowls are ready. We have some finishing touches for our Greek style chicken and rice bowls. We have some grape tomatoes, which I'm going to season up a little bit because I always think it's good to season your tomatoes separately and get them all nice and flavorful. So I'm just going to do a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then a little bit of olive oil. And honestly, I could just eat these tomatoes as a snack like this. They're super delicious. And so I'm just going to take a spoon, give it a little stir. As always, I should have a little bit of a bigger bowl, but this will be fine. Now we got some olives that are pitted and then I cut in half. There's just a mix of olives I had. Kalamata olives obviously would be really great, and there's some green olives in there. And I have some really delicious sheep's milk feta. You could also, and you probably might want to, add some cucumber to this, which would make it kind of perfectly Greek. I don't love cucumber, so I'm opting out of that. But I think it would be a super delicious addition if you do like cucumber, so I would do that as well. And then finally, we got a little bit of spinach that we're going to add in. And you can use baby spinach, but I got a little bit of a more mature spinach. So for baby spinach, you don't really have to worry about removing the stems. The stems are tender enough for you to kind of use as is. We're going to chop this up a bit. But for this spinach, which is a little bit more mature, I'm just going to break off the stems, which I've done for most of this already. But I just want to show you. No big deal. Just kind of break off the tough ends. And now we are going to cut this up. And this is going to go into the rice once the rice is done cooking, but the heat from the rice is going to wilt this and cook it. You know, spinach doesn't take a lot of heat to cook. So I'm just going to run my knife through this and get some fairly bite-sized pieces that we will fold into our finished rice when it's done. All right. So now we just got to wait until our chicken and rice is done, and then we can build our bowls. So we just hit 10 minutes of our rest time. So remember, we cooked it for 6 minutes and then let it slowly release for about 10 minutes. And that allows the chicken to keep cooking and the rice to kind of steam up to perfection. Now we're just going to release whatever steam is left. And there is a little bit of steam left in there, as you can hear. Hear that Instant Pot song, and we're all set. We're just gonna pull our chicken out. And let that hang out for a sec. And then we're going to fluff our rice and add our spinach. So we're gonna use a fork just so that we're not smushing and crushing the rice granules. And then as we're doing that, just like fold in the spinach. Like I said, it's going to cook just from the steam of the rice itself. Okay, so let's create our rice bowl. So the first thing we're going to do is slice our chicken. Okay, so we're going to add a bit of rice. Now this makes about enough for 4, assuming you split chicken breast in half. You could easily do 4 chicken breasts, just double the amount of seasoning rub, and it will be fine in there. So depending upon how hungry you are or how much chicken you want, you could cook 2 to 4 chicken breasts. And then we're going to add some chicken. We have our seasoned tomatoes. We have some olives. And then a little bit of this feta cheese. Yum. And then finally, we have our sauce that we can kind of just drizzle on. Get it on the chicken. And then maybe a little bit on these tomatoes. All right, let's go in for a taste. All right, let's taste the rice first. I'm telling you, rice is always perfect in the Instant Pot. Oh, so flavorful and delicious. And then let's get a little piece of chicken here. I really think this is a really foolproof way to make chicken breast, which tends to be kind of boring and a little bit dry because pressure cooking is a moist way of cooking. Your chicken stays really moist. It's got that nice seasoning rub on it. I will say if you can give it a little bit more time with the seasoning rub, you do get a little bit more flavor in the chicken. But even so, you still get a lot of that nice seasoning on the outside. I love this dish. It is so easy. You could whip this up even for lunch if you're at home, and it serves a whole lot. So I hope you go ahead and give this a try. And like I said, you can play with the flavors here. What if we used a little lime and chili powder and cumin, made a little cilantro, lime, and garlic rice? You could have a little bit of a burrito bowl going. So I think that there's lots of different options if you just open up your spice cabinet and take a look and just start being creative with what you have. So I hope you make this recipe. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button and that little bell button to be alerted when I launch a new video. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Now go have some fun in the kitchen and make some chicken and rice in the Instant Pot.